On today's show, turning feelings into fabric, what's coming to the newest Disney theme park?
And Oculus buys a company that's going to make them even better.
I can't even imagine that. It's Tomorrow Daily. Greetings, citizens of the internet. Welcome to Tomorrow Daily, best geek talk show in the known universe. I'm Ashley Esqueda. This is Kale Anonymous. Wow, it feels like it's been 100 years since Comic-Con. Like, I was just thinking about that this morning. Do you ever have that, like, time sort of slows down when you go to an event that's, like, in your face all the time, and then you come home and it's like everything goes really slowly?
I'm still tired from Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Like, my leg muscles still aren't the best. My little nerdy leg muscles aren't so great.
Are sad. We skipped leg day, guys. We skipped leg day. All right, well, let's not waste any more time. Let's hit the headlines.
I don't know if you've been keeping up with what's going on in the VR world, but it's been a lot of headsets and a new controller from Oculus. Well, guess what? They just announced a brand new partnership that Facebook and Oculus, they've announced that they've acquired a company, namely Pebbles. Now, what Pebbles is, they're Pebbles Interactive, I think. Pebbles creates motion gesture software. So it's looking like we're starting to see Oculus move into the controllerless world of VR.
Yeah.
It uses custom optics, sensors, and algorithms. Pebbles paves the way for better touch functionality in Oculus and other Oculus partnered headsets and stuff.
It's like the Gear VR and stuff.
Yeah. It's
wow,
really.
Look at the recognition on that. That's crazy.
Yeah, Pebbles has been a leader in this for a while. They're kind of a small company, but I mean it's really crazy that they're like this has come about so quickly. Obviously, it's not going to be a part of like the first wave.
Right.
There's no way because the consumer headset comes out in 2016.
6 months. Yeah.
So. Yeah, it could be, it could be used as a side method. It could be used as the main method. I'm sure we're not going to see this for a while, but we're sure to see some examples. But yeah, this is the ultimate goal in VR is immersion, full immersion.
Yeah, and being able to reach out and like grab things again, like seeing your hands was always a big kind of thing that always struck me as weird that wasn't available. But now with what Oculus Touch, right? It's the controllers.
Yeah.
Like that seems maybe like this could be what they add to it.
Well, Oculus Touch, their goal has always been to make it not feel like you're holding a controller, but that you're kind of immersed, and this is just full immersion. I've always said that was a big hurdle too. Like, having your hands and being able to touch things and move it in real space, that's just going to put you even further into it. And I think that really is one of the biggest hurdles. So there you go, Pebbles.
Pebbles. We might see some really cool stuff from Pebbles. Not the watch, guys, not Pebble. Pebbles with an S.
Yeah,
Pebbles with an
more
S.
than one.
I saw that really briefly this morning, the headline. It was like, Oculus purchases Pebbles. And I was like, wait. And I had to click on it. I'm like, I see. It's Pebbles. Not the watch. I'm like, what do they want a smartwatch for? It's weird.
No, they don't.
All right. You're a big Disney fan. I'm a big Disney fan. We're all big Disney fans here. There's a new theme park coming to the world at large. It's coming to Shanghai. It's going to be called the Disney Shanghai Resort.
Clever.
Very clever. Disney CEO Bob Iger was talking about this, and there was this really awesome concept video that accompanied showing off like what the park is going to look like. It's going to be very high tech. There's going to be all sorts of state-of-the-art stuff like you would expect from Disney, including this really awesome looking Tron kind of roller coaster, which just looks super rad. It's called the Tron Light Cycle Power Run. This is going to open next year, so it's coming soon. This is not something that's 10 years away where they have to break ground. They've already been working on this. And here are a couple of the other franchises you're going to be seeing at the Disney Shanghai Resort. You're going to be seeing Star Wars. They're going to have a launch bay where they're saying they're going to have set pieces, props, memorabilia from Episode 7. That's coming out this year. They're going to have all sorts of, and a cinematic experience, which I'm guessing might be something a little bit like what we saw at the Marvel experience.
Right.
Where it's like
That's cool.
which would be pretty cool. And then there's also going to be a Marvel experience where they're going to have like briefings and they're going to have superheroes walking around, and then they're going to have sort of, at Disney California Adventure, they have the Artist Alley where you can do an animation class and learn how to draw a Disney character. They're going to do that for superheroes. So they're going to say, have comic book artists come in and teach you how to draw cool. Superheroes and stuff. And then they're going to have a fully Pirates-themed land called Treasure Cove, which is going to be all Pirates of the Caribbean themed. So it's going to be fully like a full land dedicated to Pirates of the Caribbean. And for those of you wondering, like, well, gosh, like I live in the U.S., when are we going to start getting Marvel, Star Wars, like all this cool stuff in our parks? D23 Expo is next month, which is Disney's big conference, and we're kind of expected to sort of learn a little bit more about what the future is for Disneyland and Disney World in California and Florida, which a lot of people are speculating. And like, if you go to, is it sad that I go to like rumor sites for Disneyland for like construction and stuff? I go to like Mice Age and stuff, where it's like they tell you about all the little rumors and things that are going to be coming to the parks. Like, rumor is Toontown is going to be shut down in California.
Yay!
And they're going to add like either Star Wars or Marvel back there. All of Tomorrowland is going to be getting like revamped, where you're going to have like, you know, maybe the Stark Expo type thing, or it's going to be all Marvel. Like, we've heard a lot of rumors about what's coming, so maybe we'll hear a little bit more about the actual official expansion plans next month. So that's pretty exciting.
Poor Roger Rabbit's cartoon spin.
Rest in peace.
That's sad.
Gadgets, what is that?
Gadgets
Gadgets
cool.
Go-Go Coaster?
What is the reasoning behind them making a Tron roller coaster? I love me some Tron, but
Yeah.
Disney doesn't love them some Tron. Disney
Not
won't
anymore,
even make
no.
a third Tron,
That's
and they
true.
like abandon their little Tron party thing. Like,
I think it's more like I think that is specifically in their version of Tomorrowland. And so I think it sort of fits in with the aesthetic of that area of the park. And then on top of that, like, it's just going to look really cool in black light.
no, I get it. That's cool.
Yeah.
That Shanghai park sounds amazing.
Yeah, it looks really rad. I like if
And you
I
said
had the
next
funds.
year?
Next year, it's going to open next year. So it's going to compete with my money with Harry Potter Wizarding World here in LA, which Harry Potter will probably win because going with Shanghai, Disney Shanghai Resort seems really expensive. So I don't know if I can afford that. But that brings us to our hashtag of the day, which is hashtag TD Mickey. We did something similar with the Nintendo theme park. I want to know what high-tech ride or experience, you can pick an experience, like if you make up something, would you want installed at your nearest Disney theme park? So it doesn't have to be in the States, it could be anywhere. There's a Disney theme park, you live in Japan, you can pick that. You can do Euro Disney, like any of that stuff. What do you want installed? What's the thing? What's the one thing you're like just dying for? I can hear the gears turning.
Actual lightsabers?
Just real lightsabers?
They just have actual lightsabers there.
Just that's it? Like,
and you can.
would you fight with them or?
Well, I mean, you can fill in the blanks all you want there, but like once I have my lightsaber, I know what my life's gonna be like.
That's a good point.
I mean, everybody else is gonna kill themselves, but I'm just gonna like.
You're gonna be a Jedi right out of the gate.
I'm gonna be like you don't want me to use this, but yeah, no, it'd be cool, like actual lightsabers, or like even fake actual lightsabers where it just does a beam of light and it's not like a plastic thing.
Not plastic.
Yeah.
What if?
Cool.
Do you remember the Void? Those like big virtual reality experiences where you put on a headset and then they had like, you know, remember that like thing that they're gonna open that we talked about? I would want something like that where you basically get a VR headset and like it's like laser tag. And then you do it like themed to something. So you could do Star Wars. That'd be a good one, like Stormtroopers versus Rebellion, like Empire versus Rebellion.
Yeah, Winnie the
And so you
Pooh
go
versus
in.
Tigger.
Yeah, totally. I mean, that's a war that's been going on forever.
Yeah,
but I think that'd be so
Boffins have
cool.
died.
We could do this like amazing virtual reality thing where you could like run around and do like virtual reality laser tag and pretend to be like it would be like a version of Battlefront.
Yeah, that would be pretty.
Versus.
That'd be pretty sweet. I think
Pretty awesome.
every park needs to start doing that kind of
Yeah,
stuff. So
yeah, I agree. Okay, so lastly, we got to talk about this like feelings in a fabric thing. So weird, but actually kind of impressive in its own way. This is a clothing brand called Abstract, and it comes from three people: web designer Bjorn Carmen, textile designer Christine Bazan, and fashion designer Julie Hells Erickson. And what they have done is they have created this website where you go to the website, say you're on your MacBook or your laptop, you type in a story that you have feelings about, okay? Mm-hmm. So let's say it's like, oh, when I was a kid, my grandma used to bake these cookies and I loved them and we would, tell stories together, whatever. So here's the actual thing. So it tracks your facial expressions as you're typing in this story and remembering it either fondly or sadly or, whatever your feelings are about it. It also tracks your keystrokes, so whether you pause, whether you type really fast and get excited about something, or whether you take your time and type slow. And all of those things go into this sort of data visualization that turns into a fabric pattern that you can then apply to all of the different clothes for sale on their site. So you type in your story, do all the stuff, and then this is what comes out. It kind of looks like glitch art. Like it reminds me a little bit of glitch art. And what it is it's a full data visualization, and these are the different things that sort of contribute to what this looks like. So emotions picked up by the facial recognition correspond to colors. So let's say you tell a sad story, you're gonna see more like blues, purples, but maybe there's some happiness in it. Well, then it might blend in some reds, things like that. And then you have content that will make the actual patterns.
This is like a Bill Cosby sweater.
It does look like a Cosby sweater. And then also your keystrokes, like depending on how fast or slow you type, what you did, it chooses the scale of the pattern, whether it's really, really tiny or really, really big. And then you can apply it, like I said, to any of the clothes on the website, and then they will print out this custom fabric for you and ship you a jacket, a sweater, a skirt, a dress, whatever you choose that's on the site, which is crazy. Like, this seems like a whole lot of work for some clothes, right?
Yeah.
But it is interesting.
It's very interesting, that Bill Cosby sweater.
That crazy glitchy Cosby sweater. But they were saying like there would be a lot more. They're still in testing phases, and they're saying like as they go, they're getting better and better at it. So they might actually be able to make like some pretty cool stuff. And you can manipulate the story. So like let's say as you're typing, you can see the patterns start to emerge, and you say like, oh, I really like this one bit. You can actually repeat a line in the story over and over again and get that.
So why don't you just create your own pattern?
Well, you could, but the thing is like this is sort of like creating a pattern with a story behind it, I guess, or like your emotions behind it.
Right.
So it's like you'd wear this sweater and like remember the story you told about your grandma.
I'm not trying to be jaded. I'm just trying to be
not
like,
at all. It's a good question.
It may be a good, financially, it may be a tricky choice.
Well, extra financially, it might be a tricky choice because these are not going to come cheap because they're handmade, because they have to like take that data visualization,
make the cloth,
like put together your clothes, like the whole thing. And this is all handmade stuff. They're saying like a one sweater is going to cost you like $300. So
that's not as bad as I thought it would be. I thought it was gonna be. It's not Jay-Z level.
Not Jay-Z, but definitely it's up there. It's not going to Target. It's not picking out something to Target, but it is a really good conversation piece. And I know some people who are really into art that would be into this as like a conversation starter type thing, where it's like, oh, well, this fabric is a story that I told one time about, this terrible breakup I had, and look at how sad it is.
Oh, that sounds very conceited in the way that you said that.
Well, those are my art friends. I'm sorry, art friends. You're kind of full of yourselves. I don't know what to say.
I don't know if you noticed my sweater, but it's about me. I wrote a story about me, and this is my face, and this is my sweater.
Yeah, or you could give it as a gift. You could say like, I wrote this great story about our friendship, and here it is in fabric form.
This is how I feel about friendship. And then you look at it, you're like, I don't know if this is good or not.
You're like, so you feel like a jumbled mess about friendship? I don't know. But I thought that was really interesting. Yeah, it's called Abstract with an underscore after it. I find it really interesting. I think it's cool that people are like thinking of these things. Like it's pretty neat. But that's it for our stories. Let's take a quick break. We'll come right back. It's Into It time. After we come back, we get to talk about things we like. And then we also have kind of your user feedback because I totally forgot about it yesterday. But I got some tweets from you, so I didn't forget you, and then our phone talker for the day, so don't click away. It's Tomorrow Daily.
Whoa, look at that go! That's incredible.
Welcome back to the show. We returned. That was, if you're wondering, our quick right before the break video. It was called the Magnus effect. So if you put a little bit of backspin on a ball and drop it from a very high place, it actually curves out as it falls, which is pretty amazing. At least that's how it was explained to me. It could be.
I thought it was Hoop God, so I was looking up on my phone to see if.
Fair. Listen. If it's magic and it involves a basketball, it's probably Hoop God.
I'll praise him.
Yeah. So it's Thursday, so that means we have to talk about the things that because it's all about us right now.
It's all about us.
It's all about us.
Hey.
It's time for Into It. It's like a nice Joe Pesci impression. All you need now is an Elmo to spit on.
That they don't get that.
I know, but now they're gonna look it up, and they're gonna find out. Kale, please tell me what you're into this week.
It's just so lame. I'm into something I was into. I think it was on my Into It a while back, but I never finished it. So I'm into Shadows of Mordor.
That's right. You never finished it
because I hate it. I picked it up and I was like, I hate this game. I hate it. And then at some point I went, oh my god, I love this game. And then I hated it again. and now I'm playing it again, and I love it. It's like the best game ever.
It's a love-hate relationship
Well,
you got
it's
going
got that
there.
it's got that stupid feature where if you die, like if you get killed by an orc, then they get stronger.
Right.
So if you get killed by the same orc multiple times, he gets stronger and stronger and more defense, and like his friends get stronger. And so at one point, like I was fighting guys and they went from level 8 to level 16 just because I kept losing against them.
Oh,
and they had like leveled up and they were a higher rank and they became war chiefs, and I was just like, well, this sucks. So it was
Rage quit.
but it was ultimately my fault. I got the hang of it after playing Batman, and now I'm also trying to make my into it so that producer Logan will eventually play it.
Oh, very good. I like that there's some sort of like subtle. It's not even subtle. You're just like, producer Logan, you need to play this game.
Yeah,
so
I mean, you know, because he has to cut the like trailers and stuff
Yeah.
into this, so
Get
this is my
excited.
only way to get him to like push it into his brain.
like it.
I'm inceptioning.
Well,
him
I'm
a
glad
little
that you didn't totally rage quit. You only just like rage quit for a little while, and then, like you said, use Batman as like your training
Yeah.
to come back and like totally smoke this game into oblivion.
It's a really amazing game. It's a really, really good game, and I'm actually what I'm gonna do after the show. So,
excellent.
what's your into it?
Emmy nominations were this morning. I'm really big into television. I love watching TV. This is literally what I do in my spare time, like that, and play video games. Like that's it. So I was really excited because this was actually a really good year for nominations. Some really good stuff. Outstanding comedy series had some really great things like Transparent, which Amazon Prime. Like, I mean, Netflix and Amazon Prime walks away to a bunch of nominations. Silicon Valley was in there, Parks and Rec last season, Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, a Netflix show. I mean, like, really, really good. Veep, HBO. So, like, HBO walked away, I think, with the most nominations.
I want Silicon Valley to win.
That would be awesome, but I'm going to say it's not going to happen. But yeah, drama series is really good. Better Call Saul. I really love Better Call Saul. Game of Thrones, Homeland, that's a little old. House Cards, that's a little old. Mad Men last season, and then Orange is the New Black, which a lot of people weren't sure about because there were new rules this year saying that if you were you could choose what to submit in. There wasn't a hard fast rule on like if you have a half-hour show, it must be submitted as a comedy. So Orange is the New Black, they were like, well, what do we submit as? Because that show can be very funny. And they were like, but we're kind of more of a drama, but they had been submitting previously as a comedy, so they were really all excited to be nominated in drama because they weren't sure, because that's a much tougher category to get nominated in. There's a lot of really good comedy on TV, but like usually there's a handful that are like very obviously the best. But drama right now, scripted drama is just so good.
Interesting.
So I'm like a TV nerd. This is like my thing. I was super excited to see a lot of people get nominated that deserved it this year. Tatiana Maslany from Orphan Black got nominated finally after years and years of people on the internet like screaming at the Emmy Academy, being like, "What's wrong with you? Like Tatiana Maslany's amazing because she plays all those clones."
Yeah.
And then I think like John Hamm got nominated twice, like once for lead actor in Mad Men and then once as a guest actor in Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, because he plays the pastor or whatever. Like, so great. So great. So it was a really good year for nominations. I'm actually really looking forward to the Emmys. Like, last year, it kind of felt a little bit boring, so I feel like this year is a little bit more of a refresh, a little more competitive, a little more diverse in terms of, like, what types of shows and where they came from. So every year, we just keep getting more and more cord-cutting, like, shows showing up in the Emmys. So it must be making a lot of the networks really nervous.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff. Was Daredevil nominated for anything?
No, I
I'm
was
outta here.
surprised. Get out. Yeah, just go. It might have been nominated in lesser categories, but it wasn't like any of the main ones. It wasn't. But there's always season 2. It's a fresh show, so it's got plenty of time. So much time. But that's what I'm into right now. Emmy nominations. Now I get to start my betting pools. Start an Emmy pool.
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't know.
all in on Daredevil.
Daredevil, just all in. Good. All right, guys, it's time to talk about user feedback. I may have made a terrible mistake yesterday during the show by completely blanking and forgetting to mention the hashtag of the day.
That's no big deal.
We didn't talk about it, but that's okay because I asked some people on my Twitter
There you
timeline
go.
to
Yeah.
give us some answers. So yesterday's hashtag was technically TD Breathe, and we were going to ask like what food you'd want to inhale if you could turn it into a mist, because we talked about the alcohol architecture
I think
stuff.
you just assumed I'd say pizza, so you didn't even ask the question.
Maybe it's that I just telepathically knew, and I felt like it had already happened because I could see it so clearly in my mind's eye that
The
I was
full
like, we
conversation,
must have
yeah.
had that conversation. Like, we
Yeah.
must have.
And what did you say, like cupcakes?
I'm sure, yeah. It was like donuts,
Donuts,
cupcakes,
okay.
something with a lot of sugar in it.
Okay.
So what would it be, pizza?
Yeah, it'd be pizza.
Mine would be donuts or cupcakes.
Actually, yeah, it'd be pizza.
Fair. All right. But I asked a couple of you guys. You guys had some good answers. Jose wrote in and said, imagine a hot, nasty 97-degree day with no chance of a breeze. Then you inhale some cold strawberry ice cream mist. I like that.
Nice.
That's smart.
That's really good.
Like
That's
that.
a really
It's
smart
like
one.
cold mist. That seems really cool. No pun intended. Walter then wrote in and said, no, I enjoy eating my food. He likes to masticate. Chew. He likes to chew stuff. And then we got a couple of other ones just really briefly. Chocolate. We saw bacon. Nutella atmosphere.
Ooh.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Brandon said, I'd want to breathe in kale, not kale. It's got to be better than eating it to get my nutrients. It's good. Breathe in vegetables. Like, that would be cool.
You don't breathe me in.
And then the Tulsinator said, so much queso in all caps.
Just cheese?
Just cheese.
Straight up
Just
cheese.
Yeah.
That's a good question. That was a good question. Yeah.
So, and good answers. Thank you. And sorry, I apologize. I wish I would have remembered. But like I said, I really felt like we had that conversation, and I guess we didn't. So I
the
imagined
hashtag
it.
today is TD Forget.
Yeah, TD, whoops. That was my bad. All right, guys, let's talk about our very last piece of user feedback. It's our photographer of the day. Are you thinking about Shadows of Mordor right now?
Yeah.
That's kind of great.
I'm thinking about, because I have all the war chiefs. Anyway.
Where did you, like, how far into the game did you actually drop out?
I think I'm at the end of the second act. I don't know if that's how, like, games don't work in 3 acts.
2/3 of the way through-ish?
Yeah, I feel like I've got to be near the end. I skipped the story. I'll be completely honest with
I
you.
am ashamed to know you.
I don't care.
Okay, you just want
They're
combat.
like,
Combat's
well,
so good.
it's just the whole Lord of the Rings, like I love Lord of the Rings, but when they're messing around with stuff that isn't the main story of like,
Okay.
if we're following the ring bearer,
Right.
it's like, we must rescue the princess from the orcs. I'm like, well, yeah, that's how these games
I
work. So
would
yeah,
figure
no,
that would
it's
be
just
the objective.
not super interested in the game. It's a great game. It's
Fair
a great
enough.
gameplay. So anyway,
Fair enough.
So what kind of pretty picture do we got for us?
Oh,
to
we
look
got a
at
good
today?
one.
All right.
Pavel wrote in and said, hi, took this picture with my Nexus 6 on a boat between Finland and Sweden about a week ago. It was about midnight midnight, and the temperature was a pleasant 25 degrees Celsius. The sea was almost totally still. What a super way to spend a summer evening enjoying the views on Ms. Viking Grace.
Wow.
That is a ridiculously nice picture.
That's like a
postcard.
good wallpaper for your computer.
Yeah, you guys, I'm going to post it to Tumblr, to our Tumblr, tomorrowdaily.tumblr.com. You can go get it and use it as a wallpaper for your machine, whatever that machine may be. You could do it on your phone too. Look really nice. It's dark enough to where the icons would stand out, but not so dark that you couldn't see the details. That's what I like about it.
It's fantastic. Well done.
Great. So good.
Good story, too.
It was a really good story. It was fantastic. I love stories. If you guys want to send in your photography, send us your pictures and a little story and what device you took it with to tomorrow@cnet.com. You can also find us on social media. We're Tomorrow Daily on Twitter, but usually, really, you want to find us as individuals on social media.
Yeah, and to do that, you can go to @KaleAnonymous.
Or @Ashley Skeva. It's just that easy. If you want to send someone you want to send someone to show, send them to tomorrowdaily.com. That's pretty much it. It's very easy to share. All right, guys, that's it for the show this week. We'll be back on Monday with a brand new docket of weird, wonderful science facts, science fiction, geek, pop culture, gaming, whatever. And
Whatever.
Until then, be good humans. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.